Well, if this isn't an exciting New Year's treat, I don't know what is. This is going to be so much fun today. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
So
Hello.
we've got the handsome and talented Nealay Patel from SilverSilk and More. We've got the gorgeous and creative Cassandra Spicer from Beads to Live By. We have our very own Kristen Fagan, also gorgeous and creative as well. And we're going to have a really fun day making today. So thank you for jumping on here. I see everybody's kind of filtering on. Cassandra has a fantastic bracelet that she is going to show us. In fact, let me highlight her, Kristen. Switch the screen over here so that we can take a better look at it. So tell us a little bit about the bracelet that you're going to show us today, Cassandra.
Well, thank you so much first, all of you, for joining me on this wild ride at the beginning of the year with these fun new beads. The inspiration for this bracelet is our curated collection, which has up until this point included only seed beads and buttons, but this is the first month of the 2-hole bead sets that we're offering. So this sample is a random assortment of colors that are not part of any particular month, but for the first time ever, I'm actually showcasing the reveal of our colors for this month. So I have all of those with me, and I can show them off whenever you're ready for that, Sarah.
Yeah, let's see it and let's hear about that subscription box. And what's really cool about this design is it's a mixture of products from Softlex, from SilverSilk, and then this beautiful subscription box, a mixture of seed beads that Cassandra puts together once a month. So what month is this? Is this January's mix?
So the colors that I'm splaying out on the table are going to be the January delivery. So right now people can sign up and still receive these colors, which will ship starting on the 18th of January. Normally we don't reveal the colors of that month until we've already started shipping the products. But with the 2-hole beads, this being the first month with those, I wanted to give people a little taste ahead of time so that they had time to not regret their life decisions and sign up.
So let me understand. You can choose to just get the seed beads, or you can choose to get the seed beads with the add-ons, which is all of these really amazing check glass beads that will intermix well with the subscription box.
These 2-hole beads are actually part of a separate subscription option. So people can pre-order their subscription for these. So each month they would get a delivery for those, just like the seed beads. And they can do both and get them all shipped together in one shipment as well.
Exciting.
But the add-on bundles are actually, we've got 2 sets of add-on colors or styles, so to speak. We've got a fire polish bundle, and then we have a pressed glass bundle, which these are not mostly included in tonight's video, but I wanted to bring them on because I've got these. Usually every month I try to list them, a week out or so from the subscription shipments, because people can add these to their deliveries. So their subscription is already scheduled, but they can add on a delivery of, they would get in their same shipment a bundle of fire polish that coordinate, or a bundle of pressed glass. And those are all things that they would see ahead of time and order with their subscription, that they don't necessarily know what beads are in the subscription.
Ooh. How are you keeping track of all this?
Oh,
right.
Sarah, not very well.
Can you imagine, Nealay? Would you be able to keep track of all that?
My mind is blown for a lot of reasons. I'm just so in love with this color palette, first of all. So I don't think I can get over that right now. Cassandra, every time that we've gotten together or worked together, she's got such an eye for color and for different textures and trying to blend them together. So I'm just living my best life by looking at all these different things right now. So I don't know how you can get one bundle of things and not get the other stuff. Just because I
Right.
I
love to hoard all
know
the
they
things.
go so well together.
But yeah,
It's
I don't know how
Yeah,
you
awesome.
what
keep
a
track
great
with all that.
inspiration pack.
Well, thank you so much, Nealay. That means a lot. And yes, Sarah, I appreciate the acknowledgement of it. It is quite a large amount of work, and the only thing that kind of keeps me going is how much people have enjoyed this option so far. And just to reiterate and clarify, the subscriptions are a renewed thing. So like the seed beads and the 2-hole beads, if people sign up for that, they'll automatically get a monthly subscription of those. And right now, those colors would be what they would get delivered at the, or not the end of the month, but next week rather. And then they could go in and add these to their delivery for no additional charge. And the instructions are on this product listing there's a coupon code that they would use once they've signed up for the subscription. Then they can add these on as an additional purchase that they can include in that delivery. So it's a fire polish bundle and a pressed glass bundle, but they can actually do that with any products on our website using that coupon code for like a $25 or more purchase for their subscription.
And that'll add it to their seed bead subscription when their order's going out. So you guys, so they could go in and say, oh, I need to pick up some findings. I'm out of ear wires, or I'm out of clasps or soft flex. I'm going to add that from the website into my package, whatever's available on your website.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Perfect. That's awesome, you guys. Kelly Hawkins is asking, what type of seed beads are in the subscription box?
So the subscription right now includes 8 different colors of size 11 seed beads. And it is a mix if you're asking what brands, Kelly. There are not always the same mixture of brands, and it's not all the same brand. But the 3 that I have been working with are Toho, Matsuno, and Mayuki. So they are all Japanese seed beads, which if you're a seed bead weaver or you work in the industry or, work within this industry at all, you would know that that means they're the ones that are a little bit more regular. The sizes are a little bit more even keeled from one bead to the next.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy their consistency. The Japanese seed beads are, to me, the highest quality that you can get. So that's really great to know. Even I didn't know.
Yeah.
I got the beads ahead of time.
And you will notice some differences from one color to the next in these collections because they are different brands, and that still brings a little bit of change from one to the next. But Brenda,
yeah, do you have daggers on your website that they can just order the daggers alone?
So with the subscriptions, with the seed beads or the 2-hole beads, once those have shipped in a month, then there are listings for those individual beads. Like you can buy one package of this color seed bead, or you will be able to buy one strand of these daggers while supplies last, because with the subscriptions, I have to order in advance and set those quantities for the amounts that are available in total for the subscriptions. And then once those have all been accounted for, that's when I can list them individually.
And I see Joan said this was an awesome collection. And
Thanks,
Melissa
Joan.
said she's definitely going to check these subscriptions out. So perfectly.
Sorry, not sorry, Melissa.
Hi. Welcome, Heidi. We're glad you're here live too. So before we get going, did you guys make any New Year's resolutions this year? Anything new that you're trying or?
Well, I don't make New Year's resolutions, but I do choose a symbol and a word of the year.
Yeah,
and,
what is your word of the year?
That sort of guides my year and kind of something to reflect on. So this year, my word of the year is synergy, and my symbol is like a spiral portal. So it keeps it very like open and very loose, and synergy just means like I want to work on things that kind of are synergetic, so they have an ease and a flow to them, and they are cohesive, and that's sort of what I want my overarching theme for the year to be.
I wish that was the Softflex theme. I feel like we need a synergy theme this year.
I know. I love it.
We lost one of our favorite people at Softflex, and it's our second week without him, and it's
tough.
Yeah.
that James did a lot of things.
Synergy. What about you, Nealay? Do you have anything you're kind of excited about this year or looking forward to, or a goal that you've set?
I think goal is probably the more accurate word, more so than a resolution. I think for me, I'm at home a lot of the time now just because I work out of home and I do the SilverSilk and the day job both out of my house, right? So like I'm either sitting on my butt 90% of the time, or I'm kind of, going back and forth between trying to run the machine and then like trying to do stuff on my computer. So I think I just need to get up and move more. And so I'm trying to do some like 20-minute quick exercises throughout the day, or each day. And it's just for 20 minutes. So I'm like, I can dedicate myself to that at the very least. So that's one thing that I wanted to keep up with, even if it's 3 days out of the week. The second thing is I want to get out and travel more. I think now we're kind of further out from 2020 and hopefully at some point inflation as well. And so I'm wanting to kind of gauge the cost of things and trying to see if I can do more traveling. So that's sort of my wish for the year, is to get out and do more stuff.
I see movement in general, physical movement, and just movement around the country, around the.
See, yours is like a tornado,
right?
Or like, see, mine is a tornado. That's my symbol. Whereas yours is like a funnel.
Yes.
I want to be all over the place.
Yes, that's exactly it.
I'm not causing destruction, so maybe that's not the best way.
That's awesome. Cassandra, do you have anything you're looking forward to this year? Any goals or changes you're trying to make?
I also am not a huge resolution person for New Year's, but I also can't avoid the end of the year and the beginning of the next year not having a significant effect on my life, because I'm sure you all feel similarly about business and work. There's just something about having to like get one year wrapped up and starting the next year that causes you to have to like do some reflecting and some planning. So one of my goals would be definitely to have a little bit more balance. And, with these subscriptions, it's created kind of a schedule for my life that I've not really had since I started working for myself. So having this like cyclical monthly thing happening where it ties me to the store and ties me to a real specific schedule is something that I'm trying to find balance with outside of work.
Yeah, I think that can be tough. I think, we find that with the kits every month, always cycling a new kit each month is definitely a schedule inducing situation. But it is nice too. I feel like as you turn over each month and you start afresh, it's like, oh, here's my new colors. Here's my new beads that I'm working with, and it's kind of keeps my creativity fresh each month, which has been really helpful. Because I feel like when you've been doing this for as long as you and I have, sometimes you can sort of be like, I don't know, I'm in a sludge,
Yeah.
So it helps with that a lot. I think we just lost Kristen.
Hopefully she'll pop back in
with us.
The tornado took her out.
It's a good way to segue that way back in. There she is.
Dropped. I've never had that happen before, but it does feel like it got warm. So if it happens again, I might just switch to just the one, but we'll see.
Okay. Is the weather okay in Arizona? Are you guys getting a lot of rain like California?
No, we're actually pretty. We had
Just
rain a couple
landing
weeks
here,
ago.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it
You guys
hasn't
get
moved
all
over
the
to
rain.
us yet.
Share some of it, please.
Yeah, speaking of, I wanted to let you guys know we are running late on a lot of our orders this week. We had to completely shut down Monday because our road was flooded. They were able to get in the office yesterday, but it was partial crew because some people just didn't want to drive out into the storm and some wanted to, and so they went in. So we got some things done yesterday, but it's really slowed us down. And since we're processing a live sale, that means the live sale has been slowed down as well. I know they have invoiced all of the orders. I think they were doing the pictures today, and then they'll be posting that to your Facebook Messenger probably tomorrow or Friday. So start looking for those. They're coming. It just be patient. You know, Sonoma is just low-lying land. It's in the middle of hills, and when it rains, all the water floods down into the streets, and it just creates kind of a nightmare situation for us. So not only can our staff not get in, but then USPS and UPS can't get in to come even pick up our stuff if we do have it done. So it just takes a long time to sort of get everybody back on track, but we'll get there. It's still raining for the next like 10 days. So I don't know, you know, we'll keep looking at it day by day. But we're in the middle of some sort of, what is it called? Atmospheric river.
Whoa.
And it's
That's
just
new.
raining cats and dogs here. So anyway, I wanted to give you guys an update on that. So let's, we all have our hand cams out, but Miss Cassandra is going to be the teacher du jour today and show you a design specifically from beginning to end. The rest of us have products out. I think Nealay is going to replicate what Cassandra's making. He's excited to try her design. Kristen and I both just have a mixture of things that we'll be playing with. Including those beautiful seed beads. And I even have some of those fantastic check glass beads that she just showed. I pulled out some SilverSilk as well. Hopefully it's a color Nealay still carries. If not, he has a million
Probably
other
not.
colors.
Probably
Cassandra
not.
did the assignment and sent the stuff out to the right folks. I, however, failed miserably.
But you showed up. That's good.
You're here.
I'm gonna give you stuff in Tucson, so it doesn't it'll be
good.
fine.
That sounds wonderful.
I'll hand deliver it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. With a hug and everything. I can't wait.
Yes. It'll last an hour long, the hug, and then the hand delivery is made with love. So
it's like 3 years of hugs we have to make up for sure. It's crazy.
True.
At least 3 years.
I know I was in Sonoma it was it 2020?
Oh, I guess it was after the pandemic I've seen you.
Yeah. It was a very short bleep of time though.
Let me see.
Sarah, I am gonna exit my face cam just because that always seems to affect everyone else too.
Okay, sure.
And then I'll come back on when we're actually chit-chatting again.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So a little bit about the design. I've got some 2x2 crimps, and then I also used a crimp cover at this end of this one because I think I've discussed this before. I don't always get a beautiful ravioli like Sarah does. So the construction of this portion of the bracelet uses the fine or 0.014 soft flex beading wire. And then we've got the pipe chain from Nealay, which I've got all different colors to coordinate with the January subscription and the curated collections. And then his brand new fantastic bead caps for the pipe chain that I just can't get enough of. It's so perfect with that product. So this end is super sad. I'm hoping that my next sample turns out better, but I know we all love tier cast too, so I should point out the fact that this particular clasp is a tier cast toggle as well.
It's
That whole thing is so
beautiful.
beautiful, and I love an asymmetrical bracelet.
Thank you. I'm really excited about that asymmetry of like, or, you know, it's like half and half in the design. And so I've got about, let's see, you want at least 2 feet, I would say, per piece of your soft flex. So I've got 4 feet total, we'll call it. And then it's folded in half, and the ends will, these are actually 2 different lengths just because I was using my scraps, but you want your ends to all relatively match up if your lengths are all the same. And I'll show you what I mean as soon as I get that crimp bead on here.
I love how those triangle check beads just add a little edge to the
some people call them pyramids and some people call them studs. So you decide what you find more fun.
They do remind me of the old school studded bracelets from the
definitely.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Little spikes.
Yeah.
Nealay, since we're working in the same colors, I'm really excited to see what you use as far as the pipe chain and then the different like seed bead colors and stuff. I think that'll be fun to look at the differences in what we choose.
I think so too, but inevitably I'll probably lean toward green because that's where I always go.
So I've got those pieces of soft flex folded over and are through my clasp, and then I am pulling. I've got my crimp bead going over all 4 strands. So, you know, you've got 2 complete strands doubled over, and then that crimp bead is going to go over all of them at this end. And I find it a lot easier. I'm going to be working from the pipe chain side to the 2-hole bead side. So we're going to start with our pipe chain, but Sara, if you want to do a demo of the ravioli in all your glory, I welcome your tutelage. I'm just going to show my sad rendering of that here.
Did you ever use meatball, Sara? Like I turn it from a ravioli. Like I turn it from a ravioli to a meatball in mine.
I know. I hear people say that.
I said it the other day because I was hearing people comment on my videos that I think it was Zach and Marisol, maybe a couple other people were like, they kept saying it. And so I repeated it and I go, I don't know where that came from, but it's perfect. And they were like, it's Nealay.
I'm glad it's shredding.
Ravioli to a meatball. That's amazing.
Gosh, that's funny.
So much.
What will I do with you?
Like, I had no idea. That's great.
So I am replicating the length of what I did in the original bracelet just because that's, you know, easy peasy. But I would say whatever your wrist size is, or I mean, bracelet size is harder because it changes from one design to the next, in my opinion. But whatever your wrist size is, a little less than half is a good length for your piece of pipe chain, because it also will change. Like my clasp today will make my bracelet size shorter if I don't adjust for that than my original clasp too, if everybody kind of follows what I'm talking about there. So you will be working with a middle set of wires and then 2 outer wires. And I'm going to keep track of those because I've got shorter ones and longer ones. And my shorter ones will be the middle set because those will go through all of my beads that are down the center. And I am going to work with, let's get to the right side of the bracelet there. the center will have 2 strands, and then the outer strands will be individual. So that's your 4 is 2, 3, 4, if that is helpful to you guys. And I'm going to start with 1 seed bead, a 3 millimeter, and the end cap and the pipe chain. That's the center stringing. And the seed beads on the outside strands, I'll do those after I get all my pipe chain added or all those components added, because I think it'll really make it easier for people to measure what they're doing. So here's, I'm gonna get on camera here and show you guys. Those size 11 seed beads are small, but you should be able to get 2 strands of that fine soft flux through. And if you have trouble, which I do seem to be using one of the beads that maybe has a slightly smaller hole than my original, you can take a pair of pliers and hold that portion of the soft flux stiff enough until you can get just a little bit through your bead, and then you can grab the other side. Just be careful you don't smash your bead, and pull that down your center. And then the 3 millimeter fire polish that I'm using today is one of the colors from the add-on bundle. So this is like a really soft, like lilac or lavender color with a silver half coat. So like the color is through the middle of the bead, and then the silver flashes on the edges. So we've got those beads in the middle, and then we're gonna grab your end caps. You wanna string on the rounded edge towards your material, and then that way it'll actually fit over your end of your pipe chain here.
I just realized that these daggers have 2 holes. And I
They
know you
all
were
have
calling
2 holes, Sarah. It's a 2-hole subscription.
bundle, but I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. How fun. That's exciting.
They give you all sorts of extra opportunity for design, right?
I don't know that I've ever used a dagger with 2 holes before. That's exciting.
Nealay, are you ready to show off those earrings that you showed me, or?
Yeah, I can go grab them. Hang on.
I mean, don't worry about it, and just whenever it's convenient. But
question is, where did I put? Oh, wait, I cataloged them in all my designs. Yes, I needed to grab that, and I needed to grab the pipe chain end cap.
Nealay, did you just offhandedly talk about cataloging your designs?
I am OCD about my organization lately.
Oh my gosh. I need an explanation how that works.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to physically take photos of everything. And because it's all tutorial driven now, right? Because we make, or at least I've been making designs this past December to grab the wrong color, to create tutorials for. And so once I get a design that I'm happy with and that I know it'll translate on camera and instruction wise well, I make sure to take a photo of it, and then I store it away in Ziploc bags, and it's a whole process. And then some of the stuff I just give away because I'm like, it's not stuff that I necessarily want to keep or storage around. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of work as Santa Claus at at our Tucson bead show.
Aww.
Nice.
Okay, got my little end caps, and I have the earrings. I don't know if you want to do a quick flash while Cassandra.
Yeah, I'm over here stringing an endless amount of seed beads for a minute, so definitely if Sarah can toggle over to you.
Here. There you go, Nealay. Let's see this catalog of designs.
Well, this is one project that I plan on teaching.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
So working with the 2-hole
Wow.
daggers and the what are these called? Tila beads?
Those are
Is that what these
actually
are?
a silky because they go a different direction than the
Like
tiles.
a diamond.
Did you just call them silky?
They are silky beads.
There's the
Oh my
synergy
gosh,
you're
this
looking
was
for,
totally meant
Kristen.
to be.
It was.
Okay, well, I don't even know how to explain my feelings right now about this being called silky.
I could feel like a love explosion over on your end of the world.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it just like I'm so elated right now. But yeah, so I'm using the silkies, and then I'm using the 2-hole
Of
dagger.
course
So
you are.
this looks complicated. It is it's just a matter of getting your thread path correct. Much like macrame. You want to pay close attention to where the needle and what hole you're going through and all that stuff. So really, that tutorial, it'll be a short one, but by the time you add in colors and different types of beads together on a simple silver silk loop, it might look complicated, but it's really not. And so I would say this is more for the intermediate bead weaver that's familiar with seed beads and needles and stuff. But I wanted to really vary up my tutorials this year and not just stick with the stringing and wire wrapping, but really explore some other spaces of beading that I haven't in a while. And Sara knows that I love seed bead weaving because that's kind of where I started. That's how I
Yeah,
met Softflex Wire, and so it's nice to come and revisit some of that.
that's awesome. Those are
Well, I
beautiful.
swear I'm going to make a set every
Thank
month
you.
in the colors that we have, Nealay. I love them so much.
Do it. I think I'm behind though. Let's see. You strung on a cap. I remember that. What I'm trying to do now.
Oh,
You got it.
where are you at? You've got, yep. And then you can put on a section of, you want like about half your wrist length in the pipe
Oh, okay.
chain.
Are you
Ooh,
still
so
stringing
I
beads
have
for
this
a while?
beautiful pink.
Oh,
What was that, Sarah?
pretty. Let me see that, Nealay. Is that like a coral color?
Kinda. It's in a kit coming up for the TGB event.
Oh, it's so
Nealay, you've been
pretty.
holding out on me. That is gorgeous.
Okay.
It's really pretty.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really, really in love with this light. It's like a light pink, but it's metallic at the same time. I don't know how to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got also
Very
like an
good.
orangish light that's casting here. So let's do this. There we go. A little bit more
It
accurate
looks
in
like
that.
one of the spring summer Pantone colors.
Ooh.
Like a
Yes,
peachy
I've
pink
been
color.
I've been looking into that and I'm actually launching my first trio of colors that are inspired by the Pantone
Cool.
Pantone set this year. So I'm nervous and excited. I don't know why I'm nervous about that, but
Don't be nervous. It'll be great.
it's kind of a new thing. So I'm hoping and excited that'll go off well. But I had to create some examples and stuff for that today, and it's just been a crazy day. But all to say, this some folks already have actually because it was in the latest mystery kit that I launched, and I had some leftovers, and like I was looking at all of this together, and I was like, this is all about like colors right now, so this might just be the pop that this needs.
I love the contrast. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Nealay was just mentioning the Great Bead Extravaganza, which is coming up this weekend. If you'd like to join us, preview night is at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and Softflex will share it, but you can find it on the Great Bead Extravaganza page or in the group, and there will be 14 presenters over the course of the weekend. So I hope you'll look into it and join us if you don't already plan to be there as well. Tony, yes, I think we all have YouTube channels. Cassandra, you have a YouTube channel?
I do, and it's all under our business name, Beads to Live By.
So you would search for Softflex Company, SilverSilk. Is it just SilverSilk on YouTube, Nealay?
Mine is my
Think
handle
so.
is at SilverSilk and more. So you can just go to YouTube and hit up or type in at SilverSilk and more, and you'll find me.
And
Easy
Softflex
peasy.
Company. So 3 companies here that you can go follow on YouTube. In fact, we're streaming live to YouTube right now. So not only do we have lots of friends here on Facebook, we have plenty of friends on YouTube as well. I'm going to show real fast what I got going on my table. I've got a mess. First and foremost. Oh,
I bet it's a beautiful mess, though.
Oh,
It's a
thank
beautiful
you.
mess.
I have been beading away. So let me get some things out that don't matter as much right now and focusing on what does matter. So I took this beautiful piece of SilverSilk that I've been hoarding. I don't know what color it is. It's kind of like a teal blue of some kind.
I can give you a big secret for this one. So
Okay.
I remade this, and it's going to be at the Great Bead Extravaganza in my pop-up shop. It's called Waterfall, and I've not had it for like a year.
It's very
You
pretty.
guys planned this.
We did that.
I thought she didn't have any SilverSilk, so I was a little worried.
No, and I cobbled up these little findings. They're older, but I was like, oh, these will work. So that's going to be the base of my necklace. And then what I was doing was I took some Softflex craft wire and made a little link. And I was thinking about making a couple tassels to go at the bottom with the daggers. So that's kind of where I had started going. I'm thinking about 3 colors at least. So in my tassel, I was thinking about these 2 that kind of match that color and then adding in the beautiful pink color because I just love that color. So, and I think
I didn't talk about the inspiration for, so I'm trying to work ahead of the holidays. Like the January delivery will get to people towards the end of January. And then, Valentine's Day will happen before the next shipment. So this was kind of my like rad 80s themed, like Valentine's color scheme.
It. It probably matches our chocolate kiss kit pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
To be really honest, we don't have the blues in that kit, but we have like browns and reds and then this pink tourmaline color. And I bet all of those colors will mix really well. So
fantastic. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, we'll be opening that the last Wednesday of this month, and we still have some of those kits available. So grab one soon and do a little Valentine designing with us. So now I'm just trying to decide, do I want to leave a little bit of the turquoise wire showing? How far down do I want to go? All those little.
Gosh, those are a lot of tough questions, Sarah.
They are. We added a bunch of new things to the shop today. If you haven't checked the Softflex Company website, make sure you check it today. We've got new stuff to match our Cozy Mountain Retreat kit that's sold out. Things that are not inside the kit. So you can check those out. And then we've got a new check glass bead bundle. I don't know if that went up yet because we were working on it still. But it will go up soon. And of course, nothing has pictures because of the rain. But we're figuring it out slowly but surely. There's one thing about us Softflexers, we don't give up. We just we persevere.
You guys are quite resilient, that's for sure.
Yeah. We try to be for sure. All right, so this is how I'm attaching the bottom is I'm just looping into one hole on the dagger. So I'm excited that there's 2 holes, but this particular design, I don't need 2 holes. So I'm just going to connect. I want to connect that just a little bit tighter. So I'm just going to pull my dagger closer and then pull in on my wire and sort of fidget with it to get it in the right spot. The thing about daggers is with soft flex wire is you want to make sure it's going to sit comfortably because you don't want it to pull to the side. That is never good. So you don't want so much space that it's going to be able to move and pull to the side and not hang properly. But you do want to make sure it still sits comfortably. And then here's that magical crimping demo that Cassandra promised you.
Thank you. Perfect timing.
Enter my 2x2 millimeter crimp tube. Create a little 4-corner ravioli, turn it on its side, and start squishing it into a meatball and just go around.
Oh my gosh, yes. I was hoping you would say that.
So you get that beautiful round shape. And then I can go
All my
ahead and
wishes
cut
came
off
true
my
tonight.
extra wire. So there's 2 of my strands. I'm thinking about making, I don't know, like 6 of those and seeing how they lay. Now that I'm looking at it, I see it's kind of
Ooh.
a little bit too wonky. So I may do a little bit of this type of a deal to kind of bring those wires in together more. Softflex is really funny that it will actually sort of mend and change as you play with it. And so you can make things like that happen, which is nice.
The other thing I would point out too, Sarah, is not that this is necessarily what you're dealing with, but if someone were to get their seed beads on and felt like they had too many on a space and they'd already finished it off, like if that was causing tension, you could take a pair of flat nose pliers and crush a couple of seed beads in a space where you didn't worry about tiny pieces of crushed glass being located.
Right. Yeah, totally.
And that's a way to remove.
Beads?
Oh, yeah, you can
What
just
kind of woman are you?
make it one single strand.
I am savage. I don't know if you knew that anyway.
I knew it. Or if you feel like it's just not working, you just trim one off.
Oh gosh,
And just
you trimmed it off.
Single one.
We're making Nealay so sad right now.
I know. Well, I was wondering if because it was going to be shoved inside of the cone essentially, right? Wouldn't that just help?
I know, but I don't think it's going to go far enough in that it'll make a difference.
Okay.
So I'm going to try it like that, and then I'll make a couple more singles, and we'll see what happens. Things sometimes work out, sometimes they don't. It's the process is the part that's the most exciting and fun for me. Okay, let's get back to Cassandra. Oh, what's Kristen doing? She left her video camera, but here she is. Can we hear you, Kristen? Are you just muting yourself? Hello?
She's trying.
She might have us muted.
I don't think we're picking up your voice, but we can take a look. Oh, look what she did.
Oh,
look at
wow.
that.
Cool.
You guys are killing it.
Oh, I like that as a bracelet.
Yes.
That's very cool. It's like she's miming.
She's so good at it. I love her table too. Can we talk about
it? Looks
the
really
table that
good,
she's
Chris.
on?
And the matching nails, that's insane.
Amazing. Does her
Very
tables
nice.
always match the video and project that she's working on? That's what I
know.
know.
She's so good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so this is where
Cassandra.
this is where we're at with this bracelet. I have those outer strands covered in a beautiful like pinky lavender rainbowy seed bead, and it probably doesn't come across quite on camera, but you want the same length of seed beads on both sides. And what I mean by that is don't necessarily count out your seed beads. First of all, you'll hate me if you do that. But string until you get to your end cap is going to go over that silver silk facing the other direction. And then you're going to have a 3mm bead on the end there. And you want your seed beads to come just to about that spot. Then, of course, match to the other end and come down to where your crimp bead is. So that is where we're at with that. Now we are going to, your color placement can adjust depending on your preferences. I brought this outer color into the center and used a second seed bead color on the outside for this project, but I'm going to do something a little different. Either way, I'm using 2 different colored seed beads, and I'm going to start with one of those silky beads because I think that it kind of fits in nicely to this opening that happens with my other beads as I make this transition. So we're going to take, and of course I did not grab my bead stoppers. So you guys learn from my mistakes. Always have your bead stoppers handy. I've got my 2 center wires, and I'm going to put one, whatever color seed bead you choose to use, you want one on each of those center wires. And you're going to pull that down. So that is this little bead at the end of that 3mm in the center. And then we're going to grab one each of, we've got 1 center wire and 1 outer wire, or exterior wire, however we want to call it. And we're going to bring those ends together and put a 3mm fire polish on. I hate doing that stuff on camera because it looks like I'm fumbling because I can't see what I'm doing, but
it's very hard to keep things in focus on camera and see it with your own 2 eyes.
Thank you, Sarah. I could not agree more. So the other 2 leftover strands, the center strand and the exterior strand that you have not used yet, you want to take those and match them up. Sort of. I think when you're stringing 2 strands of soft flex through a bead, it's actually easier to like leave them kind of a little uneven. And then that way you can bring, and then because one of my strands, the exterior strands are longer on each side, I've got to kind of pull on those after I get the beads through. This is what you've got so far for positioning of the wires and the beads that you've added. And then you just kind of want to check on the other end of your bracelet because all that stuff is loose and could like shift where your clasp is connected. But now you're getting to the point where this work will start to create kind of some extra tension with your beads. So I'm going to turn this around so the open end is facing away from me. I find that a little easier for this part. And then we are going to, oh, you guys are having fun shopping. Thank you. I always get those notifications as I'm also trying to pay attention to this. Woohoo! So I am going to take my center strands and string 1 seed bead on each of those center strands and one of my silky beads. And I just can't describe how much I love these silky beads. They're what's called an etched finish in the Czech glass. And this particular color is like some kind of a vitreal, like super crazy, sparkly, reflective. I don't, again, pictures and camera work, I don't think does them justice, but
they're very pretty.
Thank you. I am going to show you guys. So a silky bead, the holes run through the corners, whereas there are several types of square Czech glass beads, like the pyramid stud beads or the tile beads, and those holes go through straight down the side or the edges of the sides of the bead. So that's the difference. And I would like to just point out that I think the silky is extra special, and that's why it has that name.
The silkies are extra special.
Oh
my gosh.
man, the color.
Can you hear me? Am I back?
You are
Yeah.
back.
Yes.
You know, there's a setting that I always turn all the way down so we don't get weird feedback. And I forgot when I lost my other device that I had to then turn that back up.
Oh no, we're so happy you're here.
So it finally dawned on me. I was like, what is stopping the sound? Yay, I'm back. I was like a little kid, like, hey guys, can you hear me? Hey guys. I lost you. Hey guys.
That's amazing, Kristen.
Ignoring me? What's going on?
Oh, could you hear us?
I could hear all of you, but I couldn't tell if you could hear me. So I was like commenting on things and nobody was paying any attention to me. So I was
no. That happened to me in one of our videos, Sarah, didn't it?
I haven't even heard her in a while.
That's funny.
Okay, so after we get that silky on, I'm working with my center strand still. I'm going to put one more seed bead on either side and then 1 3 millimeter. And I am kind of ambidextrous, so I grab both of those center beads with one hand each and literally string some of those beads on both at the same time just to kind of speed things up a little bit. But when I'm explaining them, it kind of slows me back down. So
my kids are
come on.
rocking
We know
out
you're
to
showing
Disney
off.
music.
I don't hear it still, Sarah.
It's really loud. I'm surprised it's not shaking my table.
Oh my gosh. Those darn kids.
Oh, they're always up to something.
So then with that outer strand that I have left still, my 3 millimeters are going to act like a kind of joiner bead. And then I'm going to take that outer strand on each side and string some more of whatever color seed bead. I mean, you could even add a third color here. So it's definitely not like there was a rule that you could only use 2 colors. I'm tempted to do that right now, except that it'll take me too long to decide. And then the amount of seed beads.
Cassandra?
I know. Oh my gosh. Too much. So the amount of seed beads you add is going to depend on which seed beads you choose, because as we talked about, the sizes are different from one brand to the next. So your goal is for that strand of seed beads to like comfortably lay around the outside of your silky and go from 1 3 millimeter to the next. So you want to give yourself enough space. And in a shorter section like this, once you figure it out on one side, I would encourage you to just go ahead and count and do that amount on the other side so that you're not like spending all your time trying to match up the 2 edges. I think that you can manage to utilize a count in this part of the project pretty easily. So I'm going to try, right now I've got 3, 6, 7, 8 on here, and I'm going to go through. Notice I didn't pay any attention to what I did on the last bracelet because I don't know if it's the same brand from the previous one, etc. So, and that seems a little too loopy to me. I'm going to probably pull 1 or 2 beads off of that.
This kind of reminds me of a little bit about macrame.
Oh gosh, it is like the bead is like a knot.
Yeah. We're sort of creating those fake loops and knots that hemp would normally do, but this is so much more fun in my opinion because there's no complicated
I am
knots.
not a huge macrame person, especially like the micro. Like I can handle like a fatter, chunkier macrame, but
it's a really neat design. I really love it.
Oh, thank you. There. I think that I've got 2, 4, 6, 7 on there. I like that quantity. So I'm going to repeat that
my magic number too.
Yeah. You're already ahead of me probably, aren't you, Nealay?
No, I'm not. I'm sitting here stringing seed beads and deciding
So
what
then I'm
colors
just hold on to all those strands with one hand, and I've got 7 beads on the external strand on this open side, and I'm gonna go through my 3mm maybe. There we go. You know, sometimes with these smaller beads, you just have to like finesse your coming and going through the beads if you're doing more than one strand per bead. And another trick for anyone that doesn't use that kind of technique on a regular basis is you can trim your soft flex on an angle, and that creates a little bit of a point for your stringing purposes. Now we're ready to add that stud bead. Who's excited?
Love
Yeah.
them.
Let's do it.
I know. I want to just make a straight strand of them, you know, just like a
Oh my
bracelet.
gosh, do it. They're so
really
good, just like all together. So in between every 3mm and 2-hole bead, you still want a buffer seed bead. This is just after playing around with the design when I started. These center strands just work better if you've got these smaller beads spacing everything out a little bit. And it'll also sit a little bit more nicely once we get this like next set of beads on here, because there'll be a little bit more tension to hold everything together. But once you get those 11s on, you also are going to have a top and bottom now. So pay attention to like the direction that your stud bead goes on, because that'll be the top of your bracelet. So you just want to make sure everything is laying in a way that is pleasing to you for that to happen. And you don't want to pull too tightly on any given strand. You want to make sure those center strands have enough tension to push your exterior strands out. I almost feel like I'm going to turn that stud bead over because it's not really acting like the top of the rest of the bracelet.
I feel all my worries from this week just fading away as I just
Aww.
I know.
I'm so beyond like grateful that you all were willing to like schedule this date together. I mean, Kristen jumped on just like as of today. I really am so happy to spend time with you guys.
I told Cassandra when she first came on, I was like, I wasn't sure. I wasn't really planning on making it, but then you emailed me and I was like, all right, I'm going to make it work.
all right.
I told her I was not trying to guilt trip her.
No.
Rough life.
It's a rough life, right? Yeah.
We have the worst jobs ever.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I have to be real careful.
You guys will find this funny, but I'm still wearing my pajamas just underneath my sweater.
Oh my gosh. It's like my COVID outfits. I said it was like a work mullet where you would put like something nice on the top and then wear like sweatpants on the bottom.
Yes, totally. I was like,
That's funny. That's a great description.
I don't think I'm gonna. That is a great description. We're totally in the 80s mode right now.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
got mullet clothing and
hot pink. Yeah, all of it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I
So
just
the
keep
rest of
wearing
this
these sweater dresses that are like so cozy every day. My husband's like, oh, another sweater dress. Or
how many of those do you have?
3 of them, and they're on rotation.
Well, that's how I feel with the sweater.
Amazing.
Because
it's so comfortable. I just am like, why would I wear anything else? It's so comfortable.
And how often do I have sweater weather? Not often.
That's
I'm actually
true.
a little warm right now, even in it. So it's like every chance I get to wear a sweater right now, it's happening.
Oh, so true. Arizona starts getting hot so early.
It does.
Like
And
right
it's
after
dry,
Tuesday.
so I feel like
It's
we
like a
don't even
blip.
understand that weather.
Oh,
No.
I understand it.
Not Nealay. We get the humidity.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
someone asked
true.
where
That's
we're
true.
from earlier, and I am in the Bay Area in a little town called Benicia, California. Kristen is in Mesa, Arizona.
mhm.
Nealay is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And where in Michigan are you? The exact town?
It's Jackson, which is about half an hour south of our capital in Lansing.
And is that where your store is too, in Jackson?
It is, yeah.
So we're in 4 different states coming together to you guys today, all
Woohoo!
using a very similar set of products.
So fun.
It is really neat that we've learned that we can connect in this way. I could have never imagined it a decade ago, and I just can't even imagine my life not having these live video opportunities to hang out. and be.
Agreed.
Yeah, for sure. I've met so many people virtually than I have in person.
I
don't know
know.
what
I have
says
never
about my
met any of you in
personality,
person.
I
It's
know, but I
true.
feel like
That's
I
true.
have.
Definitely.
I mean, I've met Kristen and Nealay in person, but not you, Cassandra. But I feel like I've met you in person. Even though I
Yes, like
know
we're old
It's so
friends.
true.
Yes. Ooh, I think my tassel's coming together. I really like it.
Oh, I'm on repeat until I attach the other side of my clasp. If you want to switch over and show us, Sarah.
Okay. You'll have to forgive my Woody from Toy Story Band-Aid. I sliced my finger, and it was
Oh,
the
no.
quickest Band-Aid I could find to fix it up. So I have been attaching just singles to that little loop that I made in Softflex craft wire. And now they're coming
Ooh.
together just so beautifully. So when I feel like I have enough of those little dangles, then I'm going to
Ooh.
just wire wrap. And I kind of feel like I do right now.
That's
They look
fun.
so good,
I'm
Sarah.
pretty good about it.
Mhm, that looks
So I
really,
think I'm
really
going to
cool.
take my pliers here, and I'm going to do a wire wrap loop to attach it to the SilverSilk. So I'm going to go in just above that cone, which you can find on the Softflex website. It's a Tierra cast hammer tone cone. I'm going
Love
to
their
point
handmade
the
stuff.
wire at me, which is basically making a 90-degree angle. I'm going to pull the wire away from me, so over the top of your pliers, so it's pointing away. Then I adjust my pliers so that it goes to the side of my loop, and I point the wire back at me by pulling it under, and that makes a little loop. Before I do anything else, I want to slide my finding from SilverSilk. Do you still have some of these findings, Nealay, for your SilverSilk on your website?
So I have findings, but those are like from the archive.
Right, yeah.
I keep some of the computer-based ones that I don't carry anymore.
I know.
But
Well, we've been friends that long. I have
That's true,
archived
yeah.
items here. I have vintage SilverSilk components.
but I do have but the good news is the ones that I have now are higher quality. They're fully brass interior core, and then they have the high quality plating on the outside. So but I'm actually quite surprised and pleased to see that yours have retained the beautiful silver
Isn't that
color all this time.
great? Yeah.
Nealay, don't you also feel like the newer version being flat on the edges is easier to close too?
Mm-hmm. It is. The pewter ones were softer, but it had that pewter base to it, and it was not sustainable for the long haul. But Sarah made it clearly look gorgeous here.
Yeah, it's
But-
beautiful.
Yeah, the
And
brass
now I'll
ones, they're
replicate that on the other side to make basically like a lariat that I could tie.
that's gonna be so gorgeous.
Oh,
I think it'll
Oh,
be
that's
really
you
Oh,
guys
cute.
make
that'll
my
be
beads
really
look so
pretty.
good.
I love that.
Yay! I love it. Thank you for sending me such beautiful beads to work with.
Oh
And
my
of course,
gosh. Thank you
thank you
for
for my SilverSilk stash, Nealay. Even though it's been a while since you've updated my stash, I still have lots of stuff here, obviously. So
I
worked
need to
out
give you some
well.
new stuff for sure.
You planned ahead years ago. You just didn't know you were
Yeah.
planning ahead.
well,
It's true.
it's
Well, it was
because
good
when
conversation to
he
like.
shares some stash with you, he's so generous that you have like ample amounts
It's
of it, right?
true. It's true. And I used these 3 colors from that subscription. Now you could mix a lot of different colors. I mean, I could have mixed in some other options too. And Nealay has so many different colors of SilverSilk that you could choose like a silver or a gold or a copper color and any of the colors that are on his website and intermix them really well with these subscription box colors. The silver would
Sarah,
have been really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
your individual strands being a singular color looks so pretty, but I also think if people were to like take 3 to 5 colors and mix them up and then do strands like that, that would be really pretty too.
Yeah, I agree with that. That would be really pretty. So you could take this whole, like a little bit of this package, a little bit of this package, and a little bit of this package and make your own bead mix. That would be super fun. And
especially with those daggers because they're so swirly in color.
That's a great design for your trios, Nealay. Have a little trio section.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. There's so many ideas
the
I have
cones
for
come
that.
in gold, I think, as well. Maybe like a brass color too. So you can also change that part up if you want to, which would be really fun. And if you haven't noticed, we already started our TGBE deal on our website. So we're doing 15% off everything this week, started today. So that's all the Tiara cast, all of our tools, everything, anything you want. All of our bundles are an extra 15% off. It's a really good deal when you can do double discounts and things. So I hope you guys will check it out on the website, softluxcompany.com. Let's go over to Kristen's cam, and she can actually use her voice to explain
I can
things.
actually talk, not just mime my setup. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. This was starting out as an earring, and then it morphed into more of a bracelet. It's kind of a minimalist design for me, because it's just got the SilverSilk. I don't know if you have this color too. This is like a dark, it's almost like the dark blue lapis color of Soft Lux
Yeah,
wire.
that one's called River. I call it River.
Yes. And then I don't have any, I don't think, of your findings anymore, Nealay. I might have a couple here and there, but
I'm so
I just
sorry.
used I just used the Soft Lux craft wire and made my own little connections on the ends. And then I strung, these are the silkies. On this, is that what, do I have that right?
Are we going for like a wrap bracelet, Krista?
That's a great idea, and now I'm going to do that because
it's a really good way for you to not have to decide, Kristen, because you can just keep changing it.
Just keep going with this,
right?
You totally had a make or break moment, and you made it.
I did. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I didn't finish before I came on with you all, because now I'm going to just keep going and make this a wrap bracelet, so I've got a whole bunch of different sections to play with. I love it.
It's beautiful. Well done.
Thank you. So far I've used these. I always love the really matte colors. Those are always my jam.
Mine too.
Of course.
But I think we like the same exact things, so
we do. We do, Nealay. So I used those, and of course the daggers, and then these, which I think are the silkies, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I'll have to keep going and see what comes next. And then I have some green silver silk here too that I can add, and that would be really fun.
Mhm.
So maybe I'll do another section of beads and then more silver silk and then more beads. Oh my gosh, this could just keep going.
Forever and ever and ever.
Who needs to do any other work? We'll just keep beading.
Right. I'm here for the rest of the day.
Everyone's gonna be like, "What happened to Sara and Kristen?" Oh, they're still beading.
And tomorrow.
They had a stressful day. They needed to decompress for 4 hours.
Aww.
And I did string it all on our dark blue lapis soft flex. So that's what I picked up for over here, which perfectly goes with this river. It's amazing. I love it.
Beautiful.
So that's what I'm up to.
Well done, guys. Well done. Nealay, I want to see your colors.
Yeah. I haven't been using my imagination as much as Kristen and Sara have. I've just literally followed your entire pattern.
Well, that's
I
because
think it's
you
still
used
gonna
it
be
all up on those
exciting.
earrings. And then, oh gosh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, you know, I mean, every color matches. So I was like, why not just use every color?
Yay! Look at all those
Exactly.
colors.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
I
you
just
know,
love it.
it's working. Something's working today.
Man, you guys sound like you got a case of the Mondays.
Yeah, and it's a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's my Monday,
Yeah.
so that's why
we
I
have
was
two
real
like,
whole
bad.
days to get through now.
We're doing okay. It is always hard when a key person leaves in your small business. It's just lots of things don't go quite how you expect, and we're all doing a little more work than we normally do, and the rain is keeping people from getting their work done, and just
yeah, the
one of
weather
those
seems like it would be extra stressful for you guys right now, Sara.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was not really the week that we needed all the rain to come, but it is really good that we're getting rain, so we're happy about that. But yeah, it's a little tough.
Sounds like when it's raining, it's really pouring. That was more metaphorical, I guess.
That just had
I
to
just
happen.
explained
I
myself.
think. You just had to say that.
It's true, actually. It's really raining and pouring. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Don't mind
great.
us.
I'm here all night. But I'm really not, but
I'm gonna go have to grab a drink and join you, Nealay.
He accepts crypto tips.
Right.
mhm.
Nealay, will you bring me some of that coral colored silver silk that you're using?
This here? Yeah, absolutely.
Will you
I
put
got
that in
a
my
3-foot spool back
whatever
there.
you bring me?
I'll put it in your stash. Mhm.
Yes. For sure.
I've got a big old order started, Nealay. Whenever you're ready for things like that this year, let me know, because
Ooh,
I'm always
that
ready for
sounds fun.
orders.
okay.
I'm in
I knew you took a
work
little break
groove
between the
finally.
holidays, but
I
Wow,
did.
that
And you
was
know
so
what, though?
good.
I came up with 12 tutorials in that
oh
time.
my gosh,
So you
Yeah,
weren't really
I mean, it
taking a
was-
break. You were taking a social media break.
an order break, not a yeah.
I feel like I'm always taking a social media break, though, because I truly just enjoy living life out of social media. But I realized,
Mhm.
like, for Silver Silk, that's not a great idea. So I'm trying to balance the two.
Yeah.
But it was
That makes
nice
sense.
to just have that time off to go back to what I enjoy doing and what I enjoy about doing beadwork, and where my adventure with beadwork started, which was sketching and trying to make those ideas come to life.
Mhm.
Now that I've got this product that I identify with at this point in life, my headspace is not just developing the projects, but really trying to figure out smart tutorials that folks can take and run with and customize to their own liking. It stays very open and timeless. And I finally, settled on some projects and some variations of those to come up with some really, really good ideas that I can't wait to start recording for YouTube.
Yeah, you needed a creative break. It's hard to be, in that creative headspace when you're go, go, go and all the other things, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, the business isn't just making videos and shipping orders. There's so many more components involved that take away from the creative aspect of it. And I think that's why, as a business owner, I don't wish to really grow right now. It's because when you start managing people and trying to take care of other departments, so to speak, you kind of, I don't know, it takes away from the creativity and the time that I want to dedicate to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
Nealay, it's so crazy that you're talking about that, because if I had spent a little more time thinking about my end of the year, beginning of the year thoughts when we were talking about our sort of resolutions, taking more time to design and teach this year was on that list of things that I did not do as much last year. So thank you for reminding me.
I think education is just a huge part of who I am. I've always loved. It took me a while to discover it, but I enjoy teaching. That is sort of where the foundation of my beading sort of blossomed. And I don't know, that's the one thing that I always want to go back to because it brings me pure joy. So between that and also just coming up with clever ideas and my love for mixed media. So there's a lot of different components that play into that from a creative standpoint that, the day-to-day and the paperwork just don't really do it for me.
Yeah. You have an engineering brain, Nealay. You really like to look at materials and see how they can come together in new and unusual ways. And and I think kind of delight in that aspect of it, And it is hard because business requires a lot of tedious things that aren't as fun and can take away from the joy of just creating.
Not creative things, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, totally. The soul sucking thing. But that was what, again,
I found I started doing these live beading parties pretty much every week because I just didn't want to sit and talk at people anymore. It's fun to do a live video by myself and teach people how to do things. But it's much nicer for me to have a real connection with other people who are creating at the same time. So I feel like that's been a creativity savior for me this last year and something I'll carry forward into the new year.
It is that, and I'm going to use that word, synergy, that is really nice about, because even if we're virtual, it kind of feels like we're in the same room.
Right.
With an
audience.
Does. Definitely.
Especially because we've gotten so much more comfortable, I think, doing these things. So it's it doesn't feel as strange or as I don't sweat quite as much as I used to.
Yes.
Oh, Nealay, do you remember the first time you did a video at JTV?
Yeah, oh gosh, that's a whole nother thing. I was even thinking, yeah, I did not know we were going to be on TV. That was a big surprise.
Which was baffling to me. What? I know I had explained what we were doing, but...
Are you sure?
And Nealay was just
I might have forgotten.
I'm pretty sure, Nealay, I didn't say, will you just come to Knoxville with me and hang out?
Well, I guess I thought we were going to a bead show together or whatever.
We were going to JTV.
Now you tell me.
This is great.
JTV. I was wondering, I'm didn't the name clue somebody in?
That's funny.
Do you guys want to see how I'm finishing this off?
Yes.
I feel like Nealay is at the point where he needs to know.
Yeah.
Okay, let me switch cameras over.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd come up with something fantastic.
Did it switch? Oh, let me try one more time.
There
No, it
you
should-
are.
There it goes. Sorry.
There you
Took a
go.
second.
No, you're fine. So once you get a length that works for your wrist or the person that you're giving it to, I did a little extra of the seed beads on the edges, and I've got the same sort of center, except that instead of putting, after I put my 2 11s on the other side of the silky, I just put 1 3mm in the center, and then I brought all my seed beads down to the end and did a little, don't look too close at my crimp. And then I'm going to take those 2 center strands, those are my shorter ones anyways, and I'm going to clip those at that crimp. And you guys totally got to miss me committing some like surgery over here and
While we were
ripping
on the
a crimp bead off of my
Yeah, as we were discussing my quote unquote knowing about how to be on TV.
my quote unquote. And then I'm gonna throw on another 3mm bead in this space. So I've got my outer strands that are now just gathered in the center, and I've got that crimp on the end of the rest of the beads. And then once I get that 3mm on, I'm going to put one more. So you'll theoretically use a total of 3 crimp beads throughout the whole project, because you need to be able to gather some on this end. I don't think, Sarah, I guess you could answer that question for sure. Would you be able to fit all 4 strands like through a crimp bead and then back the other direction through it?
4?
So 8 strands would go through the crimp bead.
Oh, probably not.
Okay, that was my
But
guess. I just didn't even try.
What you can do is just put all 4 strands through once, go through your clasp once, and then go back in once. And that might work. So it's only 1 wire on the clasp instead of 4.
Okay, gotcha. But I've also got like just a second crimp on this one. It narrows it down. This would be really good on the toggle clasps to do it on the bar end, because having a narrower space to go through your toggle loop is helpful. So like creating a little bit of narrowness at the end is of benefit in that situation. But one time Sarah pointed out during one of our videos that you want to like make sure your loops on either side of your clasp look the same, and now it's like I've never been the same since she mentioned that.
So I think my children have started either doing tumbling or tap dancing in the room above me.
Oh, my dog was whining at the door a minute ago, and I was hoping you guys couldn't hear that on camera.
No, but we do
No, we
want to
didn't
see
hear.
that sweet puppy before we leave again.
Okay, I'll get her. She is just a little vixen.
How old is she?
I think she's going on 9 weeks now. We got her when she was
Oh, she's itty
just
bitty.
7 weeks or 6 weeks. No, I think it was 7. So she's got to be 10 weeks now, actually.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
And she's
Seems
not
like we've had her
sleeping.
for years already.
I know, that's how it feels.
She is just like into everything, and she's so darn cute. You can't like be upset with her, but
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
ta-da!
Ooh la la.
That bounced my camera around.
So Cassandra owns a physical store in Michigan. If you live in or near Michigan, or you're ever traveling through, make sure you look up Beads to Live By. Nealay has a website, so it's silversilkandmore.com, right, Nealay?
Yeah, you can type in that, or you can type in silversilkonline.com. They both lead to the same place.
Oh, perfect. And of course, you can always find Softflex at softflexcompany.com if you're looking for some of our products. The subscription boxes are on your website too, is that right, Cassandra? It's not a separate website, is it?
It is on my regular website, and there's a whole tab dedicated to the subscriptions that you can sign up for like the automatic deliveries, and then all of the previous months and coordinating items. That's all under the same tab.
Oh, that's cool. That makes it really easy to find everything.
I try.
Oh, you're doing a great job.
You're doing a good job. Yes,
Aw.
you've grown so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
How long has it been? Has it been a year? Have you had your anniversary yet? Or no?
So our subscriptions started with the seed beads and some buttons in August of last year, I believe was the first delivery. And
wow, you've done so
yeah,
much
we're
since
only
then.
6 months in, and we'll be coming up actually in February. We have our 10-year anniversary of our physical store.
That's
Whoa.
amazing.
Oh, wow.
That's
So
huge.
That's pretty
I'm
major.
bouncing back on Sarah. I've got those bracelets totally done, and then I've got my face cam back on. I will take a minute and go grab that puppy if you want to go to anybody else's tray, because right now it's
Okay,
just like,
let's see how Nealay did on his. How you doing over here, Nealay? Is
Yeah,
it coming
I'm just
together?
about to finish it up. I've never really finished a project on cam before. Well, except for my own tutorials, but I guess in these collaboration environments. But I'm very pleased with this. I have beads flying all
I
over
think
the
it
place
looks
here in a
so
second.
good.
It's so
I'm
pretty.
pretty happy with it.
Yay,
happy
let's
with
go
it. I
to
need to-
Kristen too and see how she's doing.
Oh, I'm just having fun. I was just about to add some more silver silk. So
Show that wrapped around your wrist so we can see it as it's starting to come together.
Yes,
as it's starting to
please.
work out. Okay. So this is how far I am. So we've got my clasp here, and then I've got my silver silk, and I've got all these little
Looks
pyramids.
so cool.
And next I'm going to add some more
wow.
silver silk. And I think I'm going to do
It's going to be like an ode to Cassandra.
I know.
And
Our
Nealay.
little
Yeah.
Nealay. I think on this stretch I might add some craft wire and then do like a seed bead kind of messy wrap around and add a little texture that
Ooh.
way.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll
I
see.
cannot
We'll
get
see what
enough of
happens
this.
next. I like how this is just sort of like a free form, like whatever you want to do next kind of plan.
Yeah,
It's really fun.
I really
It's
like
liberating
it
for
too.
sure.
It's
I like
beautiful.
that.
Look at that puppy.
She's over here.
Oh, he's
Biting
so
me.
cute.
Do you guys
Look at that
remember the
little
scene in The
sweetie.
Lion King where they're like, ta-da?
Yeah.
I may have
You just
just
need
heard
like a
that
little.
song outside my door.
Oh, okay.
You need to
Yeah,
carry
We're
her around in a
definitely-
little
Look at
wicker
that.
basket,
Got
and that
me.
would be the best thing ever.
Look at me,
Oh,
little
okay.
puppy. Look at me.
You are being such a brat. Yes, you are.
She's
Aw.
so cute.
And now
I
she's looking
love
at her reflection again. She's very vain. Ooh,
Oh, she's like, who is that doggy? She's a cutie.
that's Waffles.
Well, this was
Now she's gonna go
super
get into something.
fun. I'm really excited about my design. I've never made a little fringe like this.
You guys
I've made
all are doing
tassels,
such
but not
beautiful
like this.
jobs.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, Sarah, you haven't done anything like that? I'm so surprised because you have done a bunch of
I've
tasseling
done-
things.
I've done things, but not exactly like this. No.
Right. And I think the silver silk adds a little bit of an extra bulkiness to it that you probably
Mhm.
don't have usually, which is nice.
Well, and it ties really nicely for a lariat. The silver
Mm.
silk is super nice. I have quite a few designs that are long too with silver silk because it just doesn't weigh a lot and it feels really comfortable. So yeah, it's perfect. Hey, so we'll all post pictures of what we make on our Instagram account. So make sure you're following all 3 companies, and then also follow Kristen has a separate account for her artwork. So look for Kristen Fagan on Instagram as well. And thank you so much for bringing us together, Cassandra, to see your really beautiful design.
Yeah.
Thank you
I
guys
thought you were going to
so
say to see your
much. You
beautiful
did not
puppy.
disappoint with your ideas and your colors and all of your beautiful work. Thank you.
And of course, Nealay, thanks for spending time with us. I love how yours turned out. And it's just good to see your face again because you were off social for so long. I'm looking forward to seeing your face in person in Tucson. But
So fun.
it's going to be
so
really
jealous.
fun. We're
Yeah,
going
you guys are
to
never
be going on a
That's all I
bead
gotta
cruise.
say.
So
yeah, you're going to have a great
for
time.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'll be in the Mexican Riviera. I guess I can shut up.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. Yeah,
You'll be all right. Yes.
But I would love to see you guys. Maybe just in Mexico.
If you were going because you had to man the store in Michigan and it was a blizzard, then I'd be like, okay, I feel bad. But not when you're going on a beach cruise.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh,
Well, thank you, everybody.
everyone.
I hope you'll check out all 3 companies. Again, we have Great Bead Extravaganza coming up this weekend. We get started 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for preview night. You can find it on the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook page and in the group. And that's going to be a whole lot of fun. We have a special guest this time named Eileen Hull, and she's going to be showing some packaging ideas that are going to be really new and different and fresh, things you've never seen before. So definitely make sure you tune in on Friday to learn more about that. And then you can find Kristen and I together on Saturday. I think our time's at 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern.
Right.
And Nealay is right after us. So you can catch both of us right in order. And we both have kits. Is your kit sold out, Nealay?
Not quite. I think there's less of them left though. They're flying.
Okay.
They were flying for a little while and then
It's a pretty color.
So.
It's actually some of these colors.
It's a really pretty color.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
actually, it's soft pinks and grays. That's sort of where my my direction for my kits went for this time around.
Yeah, almost like this.
I love it.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
The artwork for it's gorgeous. So I know the kit itself is going to be amazing. So you can check out that kit and get it before it's gone. Our kit sold out, so we're all done. But we are adding some new beads today that match the kit from our friends at Jesse James Beads. And I'll do a quick Instagram reel and unbox these for you guys so you can see them a little better.
I haven't even seen them yet.
But we have a beautiful, I know you haven't even seen a picture because I haven't gotten to take one yet. A beautiful like evergreen and lots of copper and wood and just really like a mountain retreat in the winter. Right. It's really pretty. So we've got that going and a few other things on our website, 15% off everything, no coupon needed. You can find us at softluxcompany.com. You can find Nealay at silversilkandmore.com. And Cassandra at beadstoliveby.com. And thanks everybody for watching and being here with us. Please click that like button, make sure you subscribe, and we will see you on Friday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.